The explorer most famous for sailing around the world never made it home. In 1519, European kingdoms were competing for something more valuable than gold: spices. Cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon from Southeast Asia could bring enormous profits in Europe. Portugal controlled the known sea route around Africa, so Spain needed another path. A Portuguese navigator named Ferdinand Magellan offered a daring answer: sail west, cross the unknown waters beyond South America, and reach the Spice Islands from the opposite direction. Magellan had spent years sailing in the Indian Ocean and had visited parts of Asia. But King Manuel I of Portugal rejected his plan. Magellan left his homeland and presented the idea to the young Spanish king, Charles I. Spain accepted the risk. In August 1519, 5 ships left Seville with roughly 240 men. Their names were Trinidad, San Antonio, Concepcion, Victoria, and Santiago. The official goal was not to circle the world, it was to find a western route to the Moluccas, the islands now known as part of Indonesia. The fleet crossed the Atlantic and followed the coast of South America. Month after month, every bay seemed to promise a hidden passage. Every time, the coastline closed again. As winter approached in 1520, the expedition stopped at Port St. Julian in Patagonia. Cold, hunger, and fear divided the crews. Several officers rebelled against Magellan. He survived the mutiny, but trust aboard the ships was badly damaged. Soon, the Santiago was wrecked while exploring the coast. Later, the San Antonio deserted and returned to Spain. Still, Magellan pushed south. On October 21, 1520, the remaining ships entered a narrow channel surrounded by mountains, dark water, and twisting islands. At night, sailors saw distant fires burning along the shore. They called the land Tierra del Fuego, the land of fire. For 38 days, the ships searched through the maze, until on November 28th, they reached an ocean no European expedition had ever crossed from the Atlantic. The water appeared calm, so Magellan called it the Pacific, meaning peaceful. The name hid the truth of what came next. For more than 3 months, the ships crossed an ocean far larger than their maps had suggested. Fresh food disappeared, water became foul, the crew saw almost no land. The voyage revealed that the Pacific was not a narrow sea between America and Asia, but a vast part of the planet. In March 1521, the expedition reached the Mariana Islands and then the Philippines. On Cebu, Magellan formed an alliance with the local ruler and became involved in conflicts between island communities. On April 27, 1521, he went ashore on Mactan Island. There, the explorer who had crossed the unknown Pacific was killed during a clash with warriors led by Lapu-Lapu. Magellan was gone, but the voyage continued. After further losses, the survivors reached the Moluccas in November 1521. Their ships were loaded with cloves, but only the Victoria was able to continue west toward Spain. Command passed to the Basque navigator Juan Sebastián Elcano. He led the damaged ship across the Indian Ocean, around the Cape of Good Hope, and north through waters watched by Portugal. On September 6, 1522, the Victoria entered Sanlúcar de Barrameda. 18 exhausted men had returned aboard the only surviving ship. Among them was Antonio Pigafetta, whose journal preserved the story. The survivors had completed the first known circumnavigation of Earth. They also discovered something strange. After traveling west around the planet and carefully counting every day, their calendar was 1 day behind the date kept on land. The journey had not only connected the oceans, it had revealed how movement around a rotating world could change the way humans measured time. Magellan did not personally circle the globe, and the expedition's encounters with local peoples were not a simple story of heroism. Yet the voyage changed maps forever. It showed the true scale of the Pacific, demonstrated that the world's great oceans were connected, and made global travel seem possible in a new way. One ship returned carrying spices, memories, and a new picture of Earth. The greatest discovery was not a single island or passage. It was the realization that every shore belonged to the same world. If you enjoy stories like this, please follow for more hidden history and untold stories from around the world.